Every empire believes it will last forever. Each imagines itself exceptional, chosen, destined, immune to decay. But history is older and colder than faith or ambition. From the marble of Rome to the gold of Spain to the iron of Britain, every empire has risen on the promise of permanence, only to crumble under its own weight. Now, as the light of the 21st century reflects off the white stone of America's Capitol, a question lingers. Is the White House destined to become the next relic in the Museum of Fallen Empires? Long before there was an America, the world was ruled by Rome. Rome began, not as a colossus, but as a collection of huts on 7 hills beside the Tiber. Its early kings built walls, its republic built laws, and its legions built an empire that stretched from the deserts of Syria to the moors of Britain. For centuries, Rome was not merely a place, it was an idea. Order, justice, civilization, and the belief that its way of life was universal and eternal. The Colosseum, that massive stone amphitheater, still stands as a ghost of that confidence. When the emperor walked into the arena, tens of thousands of citizens erupted in cheers, convinced they were witnessing not sport, but destiny. The games celebrated victory, discipline, divine favor. But behind the cheers was a deeper truth. The empire had begun to turn inward. As emperors lavished wealth on spectacles and citizens demanded entertainment over duty, Rome's heart began to soften. The pattern of decline began invisibly. A widening gap between rich and poor. The corruption of officials. The expansion of bureaucracy. The loss of civic virtue. And the reliance on mercenary armies. Men who fought not for the idea of Rome, but for pay. When the Visigoths finally sacked the Eternal City in 410 AD, the shock was not just military, it was psychological. For the first time, Romans realized that their empire could bleed. Yet, even as Rome fell, its memory became a blueprint. Every empire that followed inherited both its glory and its disease. Centuries later, as the medieval world began to wake from its long slumber, Spain rose under a different sun. From the ashes of Islamic Al-Andalus and the fires of the Reconquista came a new unity under Ferdinand and Isabella. Their marriage, their faith, and their ambition forged a crown that looked beyond the Iberian Peninsula to the horizon of the sea. When Christopher Columbus sailed west under the Spanish flag, he opened more than trade routes, he opened an age of conquest. Gold, silver, sugar, souls, the empire that emerged from these waters was vast, wealthy, and ruthless. From Mexico to Manila, Spanish galleons carried treasure across the oceans, and in the process, Spain became the richest and most powerful nation on earth. But every ounce of silver that poured into Madrid and Seville carried a silent curse. Easy wealth breeds decay faster than poverty ever can. Spain's gold funded palaces and wars, but not industry. It sustained faith but strangled innovation. The empire's armies marched across Europe and the Americas, claiming lands in the name of God and King, yet within 2 centuries, the same divine mandate turned brittle. The pattern of collapse returned: inflated currency, foreign wars, overreach, corruption, and fanaticism. The Inquisition silenced the minds that could have renewed Spain. Trade routes shifted. Rivals, England, France, the Dutch, rose to challenge her might. The Spanish Armada, once the pride of the seas, sank beneath the waves, and with it, Spain's invincibility. When the last of her colonies slipped away, Cuba, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, the empire that had ruled a quarter of the planet shrank back to its peninsula. The streets that once echoed with gold-laden caravans grew quiet. Spain still stood, but her empire existed only in history books and ruins. Then came the British. Where Spain conquered by sword and cross, Britain conquered by ship and system. Theirs was an empire built on trade, on law, on the illusion of benevolent order. From the 17th to the 20th century, the British Empire became the largest in history, a realm so vast that the sun literally never set upon it. London became the heart of the world's arteries. The Thames carried goods from India, Africa, the Caribbean, and China. The Union Jack flew over ports and palaces, deserts and jungles. Steam engines, telegraphs, and rifles bound continents into one imperial web. But beneath the facade of progress, the familiar disease had already begun to spread. Empires, by nature, require expansion to survive, and expansion always feeds on exploitation. The wealth of London depended on the sweat of Bengal, the sugar of the Caribbean, the coal of Africa, and the opium that bled into Asia. Britain's Industrial Revolution transformed the world, but it also deepened inequality, both at home and abroad. At the height of empire, the British elite believed their rule was eternal. They built monuments and railways, libraries and parliaments, symbols of civilization's triumph. But even as they built, the world was changing. The cost of empire became too great. The First World War cracked its financial spine. The Second World War finished the job. When India, the jewel in the crown, won independence in 1947, the empire's moral foundation collapsed. One by one, colonies declared their freedom. Within decades, the greatest empire in human history became a collection of memories, museums, and polite diplomacy. The British Commonwealth replaced Dominion. The pound sterling lost its supremacy. London still gleamed, but the empire was gone. And now, history turns its gaze westward, across the Atlantic, to a nation born from rebellion against empire, yet now carrying all its traits. The United States of America. Founded in revolution, baptized in democracy, and crowned with idealism. Its seat of power, the White House, stands as both symbol and sanctuary of the Republic's promise. For nearly 250 years, the United States has been the world's great experiment, a fusion of liberty, innovation, and might. From the ashes of colonial rule, America forged a new empire, not of monarchy, but of markets, not by decree, but by influence. Its soldiers marched into Europe to end wars. Its scientists reached the moon. Its artists and entrepreneurs shaped culture on a planetary scale. And yet, the pattern is familiar. Every empire's collapse begins not at its borders, but at its heart. Not with invasion, but with exhaustion. Rome had its bread and circuses. America has its entertainment and distraction. Spain's silver lost its value. America's dollars swell its debt. Britain overreached across oceans. America overextends across the world. The architecture of power changes, but the rhythm of decline does not. The White House, gleaming under the sun, is more than a home for presidents. It is a stage for the modern empire, a place where decisions ripple across the planet. But beneath its marble calm lie cracks, political division, social decay, debt, inequality, and disillusionment. The same symptoms that once haunted Rome, Spain, and Britain whisper again in the corridors of Washington. Empires, in their prime, believe their order is destiny. They believe their values are universal. They believe they are the final chapter of civilization. Rome thought so. Spain thought so. Britain thought so. Now, America thinks so. But history does not flatter vanity. It repeats it. The pattern unfolds in 4 acts. Act 1. Rise. A new power emerges from chaos. Its people are hungry, its leaders ambitious. Innovation, discipline, and unity propel it upward. Rome was a republic of citizens. Spain was a crusade of faith. Britain was a machine of industry. America was a republic of liberty. Each rose by believing in something larger than itself. Act 2. Expansion. Success feeds appetite. The empire grows, geographically, economically, culturally. It defines itself against rivals, spreads its influence, and begins to mistake dominance for destiny. Rome called its conquests civilization. Spain called its exploitation salvation. Britain called its empire progress. America calls its global reach freedom. Act 3. Decadence. The triumphs of one generation become the comforts of the next. The discipline that built power erodes into luxury. Public service becomes self-interest. Citizens become spectators. The empire consumes more than it produces. In wealth, in morality, in will. Debt mounts, faith weakens, corruption seeps. The society that once built, now entertains itself while the foundations rot. Act 4. Decline. The empire's outer image remains, the marble, the crown, the flag, but the spirit fades. Challenges grow abroad and division deepens within. Institutions ossify. Truth fractures. And one day, something breaks, an invasion, a crisis, a financial collapse, and the illusion of permanence vanishes. It is the oldest story in the world, retold with new actors in new costumes. So, is the United States next? The answer depends on whether it can see its reflection clearly. Rome could not. Spain would not. Britain realized too late. America stands at a mirror, uncertain whether the image it sees is that of a republic or an empire. Consider the signs. The United States' military footprint spans the globe. Its economy dominates markets, but its debt grows by the trillions. Its citizens live in abundance, but anxiety. Its politics grow polarized, its media fragmented, its institutions distrusted. Empires fall not because enemies are strong, but because their societies lose cohesion. They forget what made them powerful: discipline, unity, purpose, and replace it with spectacle, division, and self-interest. The Colosseum, in its time, was the marvel of Rome. Citizens gathered for games, cheering as gladiators fought under imperial banners. But it was also a sign of decay, a distraction from civic duty, a drug for a tired empire. Today, the arenas are digital, screens instead of stone, influencers instead of gladiators, but the function is the same. Keep the populace entertained while the state erodes. Spain's downfall came from faith untempered by reason, the burning of heretics, the silencing of dissent, the blindness of certainty. When any empire believes it alone is righteous, it begins to rot from within. When truth becomes political and dialogue becomes war, the end is near. Britain's fall was quieter, bureaucratic, almost graceful. An empire too large to maintain, too tired to defend, too proud to change. Its rulers mistook inertia for stability, until one day the world moved on without them. And now, the White House, the symbol of the new empire, faces its own test of endurance. Perhaps America's strength lies in its openness to self-critique, its ability to reinvent. Unlike Rome or Spain, the United States was built on a paradox: rebellion against power, even while wielding it. Its founding documents are, at their core, warnings against tyranny. Its system, however fragile, allows renewal through conflict. If history offers a way out of the imperial cycle, it might lie in the American experiment itself, in the idea that no empire must remain one forever. But the window for reinvention is closing. When politics becomes theater and truth becomes partisan, self-correction falters. When citizens turn inward, seeking comfort over contribution, innovation dies. When faith in institutions collapses, the republic turns into an empire in name alone, powerful abroad, hollow within. History is not prophecy, but it rhymes with eerie precision. The Roman marble cracked. The Spanish gold dimmed. The British crown tarnished. And the White House, immaculate, symbolic, immortalized in film and photograph, now stands beneath the same unblinking sky that watched them all fall. Empires do not vanish overnight. They fade, slowly, imperceptibly, until the moment comes when everyone realizes they already have. And yet, hope endures. The collapse of empire need not mean the collapse of civilization. Rome fell, but its laws and languages lived on. Spain's empire ended, but its culture still shapes continents. Britain's rule dissolved, but its institutions spread democracy. Perhaps America, too, will outlive its empire, not as ruler, but as teacher. The future of the White House may not be as a palace of power, but as a reminder that freedom must be earned in every generation, that humility must guard greatness, that even the mightiest must listen to history's quiet warnings. If the White House can remember that, perhaps it will escape the cycle that consumed its predecessors. If it cannot, if it mistakes dominance for destiny, spectacle for strength, then it too will stand one day like the Colosseum, beautiful, silent, and broken. And tourists will wander its halls, whispering, "This is where the empire once lived." That is the pattern. Rome fell to indulgence. Spain fell to fanaticism. Britain fell to fatigue. The United States stands at the edge, powerful, creative, divided, and uncertain. Its fate is unwritten, but its past is already prologue. In the end, the collapse of empires is not a story of destruction, it is a story of forgetting. Nations die when they forget what made them live. And so, as the sun sets each evening over the White House, that white stone glows with both glory and warning. For within its walls echoes the oldest lesson of all. Empires are mortal, but history is not.